My sister's dog always does that when I sleep on the ground. How often do you sleep on the ground?
What do you want? Be happy to.
Okay, essentially we need to do like 21 start of the games. Because we could be facing any different matchup. 21 times, but we'll do it as fast as we can. So, Echo Isles, Black Sheep Wall, I see dead people. We are against undead, so the way that I would build my base against undead is I prioritize quick altar. It doesn't really matter where it is, but there has been so many games where I face an undead and I lose my heroes. And it all comes down to defending with fortified burrows as I squeeze out my Blade Master, and I can still squeeze a game out. So if the altar is in a more defensive position, like here, against undead, that's a lot better than if it's here. Altars here serve to protect burrows or great halls and peon lines. You create a funnel for people to have difficulty moving past like this to your peon line. But against undead, although your peons should be protected, it's your altar who's often a target of late game tri-hero Cryptfiend attack. So against undead, I would say altar here, which has a second advantage that because you build it so fast, like the closest to your peon, your hero also comes out the fastest, which is always nice. Okay. After that, burrow needs to be right here. It's nice and close to your peon line, so you can save it from stuff. Okay. Then the barracks is going to be... You could build like shop here and barracks here, but the shop is also an important kill target. The advantage of a shop in this area is that anytime you go back from the map and you go back home, you can more easily buy items without needing to travel as far back. And you can build shop here because you say it's important, but now you need to go all the way to the back and it just costs you travel time. So every second you move it closer into the deep of the map helps you with your macro, your travel distance and so on. So ideally, oftentimes against undead, I've built my shop right here in the middle of the map. It's such a nice central location. It covers one of the scouting paths from his main to your natural, so you can see him attacking your expansion. It basically is as central as can be while being an important scout point. The problem is, you get away with it 9 out of 10 times, especially on lower levels, I think. But when I play against Happy, he will always kill the shop on the map with skeletons and focus fire. He makes it worth it. So then suddenly you're without a shop, you need to remake it, and it slows down your mid to late game. You could also build it somewhere here. Probably against undead, that's quite nice as well. Traditionally, it's often been built here as well. It's like allowing you to creep the 333 while still picking up items, going straight onto the map. So that's quite nice. It's also a quick point of reference for marketplace contests and travel between you and his base. It also serves as an extra buffer scouting info anchor tool for him when he's attacking your main. You get to see him come first, but you'll always lose it on any frontal assault before the fight starts, so that's not great. The safest place is to build the shop here and to build the barracks here. Now, in some matchups you want to link everything to create like a wall that people can't pass, but against undead you want more space. Oftentimes you're like crawling in your skin trying to get away from the Cryptfiend and the Coil and the Nova. So the looser kind of base you build, the better. Like I just as soon do it like this. The lower shop helps you to reach it easier. Try Danielson is gifting 20 tier 1 subs to follow Grubby's community. They have gifted a total of 151 in the channel. Thank you very much, guy. Who is this guy? With wounds that don't seem to heal. That's right, Glaive. Thank you very much, Try Danielson. You've gifted a sub to Peacemaker, Godvalk, Quana, Limik, Kotoza, Piotr, Son of Liberty, Darkman, and there's always one lewd name. I'm waiting to see it. I haven't seen it yet, but there's always a lewd name. Shafgen, Dog37, Letouch, could qualify as, but generally quite... Carl Burger, Nico Kalag, Bacon Snacku. Bacon Snacku!
Greetings,
Dirty
friend.
Mike. There we go. NL. Azure Avatar, Tom, Zezere, Mensiu, Velocite,
Greetings,
Transparenty,
friend.
and that's it. Thank you very much, dude. Yeah, so this is quite a nice combination of having space to escape into your own base while having your shop easily accessible for your natural.
I can do that.
And you just build a burrow here. This is, I think, quite an ideal base against undead if you're not going to be building your shop somewhere on the map. So that's the layout. The rest of the request was show favorite creep routes.
Greetings.
Yeah, so a lot of it ties in with your plan of whether you're going to be harassing the undead. On Echo, you can go straight, get their Ogre Warrior. You can go straight, get the Ogre Mage. You can get the 3-3, then use the shop here and go onto the map. But one thing I never advise against undead is using Farseer level 1 harass. Blade level 1 harass, generally I don't really like it either. I think you'll have a better win rate. Always getting level 2 first, minimum. Maybe level 3 in case of Blade. Do you build the shop before you build the barracks? No. This is not the build order, but the build layout. What I showed here against undead can be extrapolated in many other maps as well. Actually, I don't think I can show you 21 times 21 base layouts. Everything I showed you about the layout here can be roughly reproduced on other maps. I think you'll agree, Aditas. So the concepts against undead is loose open base, semi-protected altar, loose burrows not too far forward, with a protected shop or an advanced shop to expedite creeping and map control. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Then we'll talk about human, for instance, against human. We can use another map to talk about the versus human matchup. We're just doing 4 times layout now, okay? And we can't really go through all the creep routes in that amount of time, I think. Where do your tier 2 buildings go? Against undead, like, okay, let's say we're against undead here, right? I'll restart game. Altar should be here. Burrow should be here.
Ready to work. Something need doing?
Barracks should be like right here. Then the shop here. Maybe even here.
Work complete. Work complete.
Next burrow can go right here. Keep it as loose as possible. Maybe... Well, ideally it goes here, okay? You can protect shop, but it doesn't block your pathing. But we'll build it here for the time being. Tier 2 buildings should be in the back, normally. Because they are also something that undead likes to kill. So like bestiary in the back is the best. But oftentimes I will just build it here and it's not that big of a deal. Depends if you have space. But generally I like bestiary in the back. Here is a few risks. Kodo pops out, gets focus fired and killed. Bat Rider pops out, gets webbed and killed. And also bestiary itself can get killed. No? It also has no protection from burrows here. So this is the versus undead base layout. Now we'll do versus human.
Be happy to.
So versus human, you need to make sure that your burrows protect against early footman harass. So if I were to say build a burrow here, and then I build an altar here, and then I build a barracks here, and I build a shop here, and this is my opening layout, and then I tech, right? The problem is his footman scout, the first footman, can start killing the shop. It's annoying. Right?
Something need doing?
So you need to think about where everything goes. Also, human, if you build your burrow like this, right? Human can walk here with the footman, but the grunt blade cannot. So footmen have more liberty in your base. So that's not great. So generally you would sooner build your burrow like 1 hex below the Great Hall or 2 hex below the Great Hall. Also don't link them against the forest, same problem. Like this one, footmen actually can't pass. It's a full wall off for anything. But 1 space above the forest like this, Footmen and peons can pass, but Grunt's blade cannot. So it's again bad. Another thing you never want to do against a human is this. Barracks here and then burrow. Oftentimes you get tower rushed, you make catapult and he spawns here and he tries to walk back here and he can't. So you should always do like this. One space below, catapult can escape here, catapult can escape here. Okay? Another thing you don't want to do is build your first burrow here and your second here. That means here towers can be masked when they tower rush you. And it can attack your worker line. So make sure that from both sides your worker line is safe from tower rush. It's also great because humans often rush your burrows with footmen or with summons. So don't do like this either. The problem with this is they don't protect one another against human. And also when he switches focus, your peons need to go all the way there. So you could do like first burrow here and then second burrow somewhere here. Huh? And then the next burrow goes like here or something. Like this would be quite safe to protect one another, but it means that anything outside of this zone can get towered without easy protection. Can even be attacked without protection. So you would have against human your shop like this. Your barracks would probably be here. And then your altar is something like this. So this is like pretty decent layout against human. You can escape everywhere in your own base. You've got protection against footmen with your burrow. And that pretty much works. Yeah? Sorry for the... oh, eh? Thanks for the pick at the classic building, dude. Sorry to interrupt, but so much fanboy had to come out. Curbtastic. Thank you, man. The classic building. Okay, I remember. Thank you, dude. More work. All right. Thanks for the gift sub. Bageltastic, Tommy Thompson. Thank you for the subs as well. All right. This is base layout essentials that can be reproduced on other maps against Night Elf. Against Night Elf, if you build your burrow here, Keeper can stand here and tangle your peons and kill them. Okay, this is bad. Against Night Elf, you want to do the following. Burrow near your gold mine, which also attacks the most likely Keeper approach. Don't build it here, because then in order for your gold mine peons to escape, they need to walk this much, which means Keeper has more time to entangle. Against Night Elf these days, the base layout changed. Before you were thinking about Demon Hunter penetration. Now you're thinking about Keeper reach. He's ranged. Demon Hunter was melee. Before you worked to block out a Demon Hunter from penetrating your base. Now it's about travel time towards the burrow. So you built the first burrow here is pretty much a given. The altar is made to funnel him in closer reach. This would be a nice altar place. Or maybe even here. Like here, burrow zones out huntresses from attacking your altar. If you build it here, hunters can have an angle on your altar right here without burrow protection. So you want about 1 or 2 slots between the burrow and altar to have huntresses zoned out thanks to the burrow. In addition to that, if the Keeper now wants to entangle gold peons, he either needs to walk all the way around to here, which means it's easier to wall in and body block, or he needs to stand right here. Again, easier to body block. If you were to say... if you built your altar here, he would still be protected, but it gives Keeper a much safer, spacious attack angle on peons. So I think pretty much it has to be here. Okay? And then the next is the barracks here with a loose flying burrow with 1 hex. It can be touching as well, but don't make it double touch. Don't do this. In old patch, yes, but new patch, open on 1 side or open on 2 sides. And then the shop can be right here. Also still protected by the burrow. And this would be a good layout against Night Elf. Now
Yes.
against Orc. You face Blade or
What do you
Farseer
want?
these days.
Hmm?
Against Blade, you want the following.
Something needs doing. Yes. Be happy to. What do you want? I can do that. Hmm? Something need doing? Be happy to. What do you want? Something need doing? I can do that.
You can do it like this, but then you still have an opening. Instead, you can also do it like
Work.
this.
Something need doing? Yes. Be happy to. I can do
Okay,
that.
now it's a full wall off. Now Blade cannot get to your worker line. So you just cut these trees and you leave this alone. Okay? Blade cannot harass worker line, which is nice. This is good against Blade Master. If you find out that you're against Farseer, this is the less good base layout. But once you see Farseer, you just put all your peons on this tree and suddenly it's open. So this is like pretty good. If you're extra pro, you can do 40 cuts on this tree, which is 4 peon returns, and then leave the last 10 chops. Every tree has 50 chops for 50 lumber. So you just do 40 chops and then you bring all your peons away and you mine here. That way you only need 10 chops to
Work complete.
open your layout once you need it. But you need to be practicing good mindfulness with that. If you're facing Farseer, however, and you don't know this in advance, so you should make like a multi-option base layout. If you're facing Farseer, you want a more open layout. So say for instance you built your altar here, but you don't do this burrow yet.
What do you want?
Then your next burrow is here.
Ready to work.
You then build a barracks here
What do you want?
and a shop right here.
Work.
So now you've got a 1 hex opening here and a triple hex opening here. You find out what hero he has, and then you can make your next burrow choice.
Yes. Work
Even if you build like your second burrow here, you can still end up seeing like, oh hey, he's Farseer, I leave it open. It's good, it's open. And then you just build the burrow here. And it's like, oh, he's Farseer, I'm gonna build the burrow here. But if it's Blade, you'll be like, alright, I close this off, and I close this off with the third burrow. So this is like what I call multi-option build after you see their hero. Okay? So that's layouts. You just replicate this concept that I showed you on TS for every map. The same concepts apply every time. Okay? So I don't have to show you 6 more times on other maps for all matchups. Then you also asked about creeper out. It's too deep to actually be able to cover in one request, to be able to do 21 creeper outs on 7 maps. No, 28. Your request essentially asks for 28 creeper outs on 7 different maps in 4 different matchups, and I can't cover that. But I hope you enjoyed at least the base layout tutorial.